Ho, ho, ho. Merry Convincemas.
That was your best one yet.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everybody, to Are You Convinced? This week, we're talking Christmas traditions.
Are you hot in that big red coat or what? Are you baking
We're
in
in
that?
the full Santa suit. Eating all that food and getting the belly was probably unnecessary.
You know, it's just me in the room. You don't have to impress me
Oh,
with a full Santa coat. Don't take it off. Leave it on. I don't want to see that.
How you doing, Damon?
I'm doing really good. I'm a bit tired.
Yeah,
mate.
a little bit tired.
Yeah.
Do we want to
We
talk
should.
briefly?
I think we
we
should.
won't go into anything specific.
We won't, but we'll
just-
mention why we're so tired.
We had
and-
our own sort of mini Christmas last night.
Didn't
at
we?
midnight.
Well, in that we were looking forward to something for a
Yeah.
long time. We finally got it, and now we've got a bit of a coma, a bit of a hangover going, and yeah, and
Wondering if Mum kept the receipt and we can get a refund.
well, you are. I'm just happy to keep the present.
We saw Star Wars: Last Jedi came out, and we went to see that last night, the two of us. I think that's all we'll say, really.
It was a thing that happened.
Go see it. You know,
I'm positive on it.
It's a Star War.
It is definitely a Star Wars. Yeah, God, we'll turn this into a review if we say any more on it.
Pretty
won't we?
much.
Yeah. Okay. So Christmas, James, that's
Yeah.
coming up.
It is. It's coming very close. I've done like zero shopping.
I did like half of mine today.
Okay, half.
And there's still more to do. So I walked into one of the shops, and the very nice young lady who I got chatting to, you getting Christmas shopping done, mate? And I go, no, starting. And she goes, oh, I know, I haven't started mine yet either. I'm like, what are you doing? At least I've got a leg up
You're
on
here,
you.
like-
Yeah, you're here, exactly.
Maybe that's her plan. Is just
Yep.
on the last
Right
day, it's
before
just
she
like,
leaves.
Yep, that'll do.
Yep. She's waiting till Friday, late night shopping for a lunch break, and she's just going to like drag a bunch of stuff off the shelves
Yeah,
and go,
just,
that's
I'm out. Everything that falls in the basket
That's
comes with
right.
her. She can figure out who it goes to later.
staff discount. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, one thing that we're doing, this is a Christmas tradition.
Okay.
We can start our first topic
Yeah.
with this really bad transition. I'm tired, James. We're tired. We in my family we've started doing Kris Kringle,
Yeah. Okay.
KK as we call it.
Yep.
Not
KK, 2Ks.
just 2Ks.
Yep.
We're not dreaming of a white Christmas.
Whoa.
We're happy with a multicolored Christmas. Thank you very much.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, and when the white runs out, I'll drink the red.
Nice. Well done. Proud of you.
Yeah.
There you go. Your best intro and your best pun. And we've left it till episode 13. So that makes life so much easier, I think, present buying. We've got an app. Not an app, sorry. It's an email service.
Okay.
We just submit our names and some basic likes or dislikes, and then we get allocated a name, and it's amongst like my siblings and our partners.
All right.
So like my sister's partner might draw my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I might draw my sister or one of their partners or whatever. But that means it's one present I've got to buy for that whole side of the family.
Yeah.
Makes life so much easier.
It does.
Yeah.
We sort of do a similar thing, amongst our family. So just that way you can buy like a bigger, better present than getting a whole bunch of little sort of
knickknacks.
$30, $40 present, you know?
Yeah, stocking fillers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we set like a $50 limit.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing too. We just go, it becomes a point where I think we all acknowledge as adults, I like giving people stuff.
Yep.
And I like you guys, but this is an obligation.
Yeah.
So let's make it something quirky or fun or funny that you're going to enjoy. No tea towels and socks.
Yeah.
Something for $50 that's crazy and weird that you wouldn't buy yourself is kind of the mentality.
Otherwise, if you don't have something like that, you end up having to shop for like 10 people and you're spending $20-$30 on each of them. So you've spent $200, $300 for 10 people to buy them stuff they don't even want.
Exactly. You're right. Like for $20, it's going to be not a rubbish gift necessarily, but you're not going to be satisfied giving it to them.
Yeah.
You've done it because you had to.
And there's $300 that could have been really way better spent.
Exactly. Well, my car
Not
insurance.
selfish. Not trying to be selfish there.
No, but my car insurance is due, so I know exactly what you mean. What idiot decided that leading up to Christmas is the right time to do my renewal for my car insurance? Probably me.
Yeah.
I think that was me that did that. Anyway. Yeah. Do you have any family traditions in your family, James, for Christmas?
Not really that I can think of. No, pretty much.
We're getting to the point now as we've all grown up and moved to the four corners of the earth, and family now lives interstate, and you've got family overseas and interstate. And do you now get to the point where you just hang out for October and go, right, someone ring me and tell me what is happening for Christmas?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And like it used to be a big thing with my family where when growing up,
when you were a kid.
before we all reached teens, the cousins were all sort of in a close sort of age bracket, and we'd all get together, aunties, uncles, cousins. It'd be a big sort of family thing. The aunties and uncles would swap around whose house it was at every year.
Yep.
It just doesn't happen anymore. It's like everybody's grown up. All the cousins have their own families, and
I think we're in that
wives
awkward in between phase where the next time Christmas gets interesting is when like we have kids.
Let's talk about like favorite Christmas movies, Damon.
Die Hard.
Die Hard. I knew you were going to say Die Hard. When you said this to me, when you brought this topic idea to the table, I knew.
I just wanted an excuse to talk about Die Hard. We had this argument with Elliot from our beer episode.
Yeah,
He and I were talking about this the other night after Social Sports, and I said, best Christmas movie, Die Hard, and he goes, nah. Nah. Oh, okay. Well, what is the best Christmas movie? And he goes, Gremlins.
Okay.
And I struggle to argue with him.
Yeah.
Because that's like Die Hard is set at Christmas.
Yeah.
Gremlins is a Christmas movie.
You know what else is set at Christmas?
Go on.
Jurassic World. And
it
it's
is too.
Never mentioned
ever
you're
again. Absolutely right. Like the very first scene, it's snowing and they're playing Christmas carols, aren't they? Yeah.
It's never mentioned again.
Wow.
Why?
Why even bother? Why even bring Christmas into it? Do you know what I thought you were going to say just to get on my nerves?
What's that?
Iron Man 3 is set at Christmas.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's a Shane Black film. Shane Black? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Apparently every one of his films is set at Christmas.
Oh, okay. Is it just Christmas obsessed? Maybe we should have had him on the episode. Hashtag convince Shane.
Maybe he's got more to say about this than we do.
I would have to say the Home Alone movies are up there for me.
Oh, see, I didn't really grow up with them.
Okay.
We saw them as kids, but they weren't in a VHS collection or anything.
Yeah.
Natalie, third member of the podcast, she loves them. And she's constantly shouting lines from it at me, and they go right over my head, and I don't get it. You know, the amount of times at Christmas she shouts at me, "Merry Christmas, you filthy animal." I'm like, what? Sorry, what?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And a Happy New Year.
That's right. My Tommy gun. Oh, no, that's the mask. How does the line go? What is you can do that?
Yeah, I believe you, but my Tommy gun don't. That's right.
That's right.
Classics.
Yeah.
I actually have a weird sort of one that it's really bad, this movie. It's like one of those so bad it's good kind of films. It's a Disney movie, live action, starring a still relatively young Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yeah.
From Home Improvement.
I'll Be Home for Christmas.
Voice of Simba. You know the one.
I know the one. I've seen it.
It's pretty cheesy, isn't it?
It's not good.
Young Jessica Biel.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And he gets put in a Santa suit, left out in the middle of the desert, and he's got to get home. He wants to get home to the West Coast, back to California, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
No, back to East Coast.
One or the other. He's studying
East Coast, New York sort of side.
He's studying at university on one of them, and
California,
and he's a wheeler dealer at uni. And the dad's all like, "You got to come home for Christmas, and if you do, I'll give you the Porsche."
And he's like, "Brilliant." And his girlfriend was trying to convince him. Jessica Biel was trying to convince him to come back with her the whole time.
Yep.
And he's like, "Oh no, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to go back and see my stepmother, and it's just not fun anymore." And then he changes his mind. Like she thinks he's just gone, oh, okay, I've changed my mind. He's in it for the car. Along the way, he sort of learns all these lessons
about
an
amazing narrative.
True meaning of Christmas.
How did he
dressed
end up
in a Santa suit?
Because he's stuck in the Santa suit, isn't
he?
Yeah,
like he's like glued.
Someone's glued it on. Yeah, so it wasn't magic. It wasn't one of those Christmas miracle stories where he's woken up in the Santa suit and can't take it off.
Yeah, no, like, he's been like that. He tricked some guys.
That's right.
During a quiz.
That's right.
He was going to give them the answers, and then he gets beat up, I think, and then they don't get the answers, so they don't win.
Yep.
They don't get 100% on the quiz, so they decide to knock him out, knock him unconscious, put him in the Santa suit, leave him out in the middle of the desert.
So he's an awful human being all round.
He is, but it's one of those.
It's a redemption story.
He's got to learn to be a better person.
The thing that annoys me about that is I'm not real big on rewards for basic things that you should just do. Going home for Christmas is a basic human decency.
Yeah.
And the fact that he only agrees to it because his dad's going to give him his Porsche.
But
even if he turns up for Christmas,
you got to watch the movie. You got to watch you have, but
I won't give away the ending, but. Even if he were to turn up for Christmas at the end, if I were his dad, I'd slap him and go, "No, you're not getting the Porsche. You should just be here. Yeah. Be a good human being."
Of course you're not getting the Porsche.
James, what's your favourite Christmas song?
So I'm just laughing at you because I know you probably don't really have an answer for this.
I do.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I genuinely do.
I wasn't sure that your Christmas cheer was all that high.
Oh, it's not. My favourite Christmas song is Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues.
Okay, yeah, I don't know that one.
Oh, I'll play it for you later.
All right.
And you'll be like, is this a Christmas song? I go, yeah, it's great.
Sorry, while I'm thinking about it, just real quick.
Fairy Tale of New York. I'm sorry. A Fairy Tale of New York?
I thought that's what you said.
It's my favourite. I did say that, didn't I?
Yeah.
You talk for a bit. I'm going on Spotify.
Okay.
It's my favourite damn Christmas song.
I'll get into my favourite song in a second. But important question for you, Damon.
Yes.
When do you watch A Nightmare Before Christmas? Do you watch it at Halloween or do you watch it at Christmas?
Ooh, you're not going
to... no las dos.
You're not going to like my answer.
You don't watch.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I know. It's one of those that it's like, this is a race against time. My phone's about to die. I've got to make sure I got the title of this right. I'm going to look like a moron.
Sorry, go on, though. Too late. But that's a dilemma I face constantly. It's
when to watch it.
When to watch it.
I've got to see it. Well, maybe this Christmas will be the time that I actually watch it.
Oh, I will lend it to you. I'll make that happen.
Sure. Yeah, we'll do it.
I would say back to Christmas carols.
Yep.
I was thinking about this on the drive home from work today. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. I don't know why. It used to be one of my least favorite songs as a kid. I think growing up as a kid, my favorite was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh, of course.
Because you'd always throw in those little bits. Yeah. Like a light bulb.
That's right. Like Elvis.
Yeah. That was great fun. But
such happy memories.
This song, like now, is just kind of, it's sort of slow and just very reflective. And it just kind of feels like Christmas, I guess. It kind of feels like thinking about spending time with family and being around the ones you love, and I'm going to get all soppy. You're going to get all soppy.
I can see you getting a little bit teary-eyed as it is, wondering where you're going to be for Christmas, whose family's hosting it.
So yeah, that'd be mine.
Oh, that's a good one. That's good. At least yours is actually a Christmas carol. Mine is by an Irish punk folk band. I still haven't found it. I still can't confirm.
It's too late now. Moving on.
No, it's never too late. I'm committed to this now. We'll keep going, but I'll just interrupt the podcast at some point with the information.
So what do you normally do Christmas Day? You get together with family?
Well, typically it's been in the morning we would go to my grandparents' place.
Yep.
That's changed because Nana passed away recently.
Yeah.
But that's cool. That happens. Jeez, that really put a downer on this Christmas podcast, didn't it? Just mentioning a death. No, but it's all good. So we'll catch up with my mum for Christmas Eve.
Yep.
Nat's family is European, so you better believe.
I'm a peon.
Who's a peon?
I don't know, everybody.
I'm not peon. How would you know I'm peon? We're very tired. We think very tired. I know I'm funny.
So yeah, I guess when you get together, what, you eat food?
Eat lots Christmas of food, eat great Christmas food. Okay. James, what's your favourite Christmas food?
You saw where I was going there.
I did. Then I looked off my phone. I still haven't found the song. It's on here somewhere.
It's over, man. It's over.
Fairy Tale of New York. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, and I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this. Puffiness.
I beg your pardon.
It's like a German sort of soft gingerbread cookie type thing.
Okay.
It's very nice. Love it.
Puffiness.
Yes. I've probably butchered that so bad. What's yours, Damon?
Well, actually, mine's. I love on Christmas Day. I love the leg ham, straight cut, like clean off the bone. I love that. But again, Nat's family, the Europeans, they their family's from Slovenia.
Okay.
Most countries around Slovenia, most of the former. Here we go. The Pogues. I finally found it. They do.
You're really not good at
Fairy Tale of New York. It's definitely called Fairy Tale of New York.
Okay, thank you for staying tuned for the answer to that the burning question you probably
riveting podcasting
didn't
isn't
have.
It? So they do a cake, and it's called petitza.
Okay,
and it's basically
not pizza,
but
not disappointing.
No, it's amazing.
Because most things that aren't pizza are disappointing.
The great thing is the first time I was around for a Christmas at their place, and a mum offered me a piece of petitza and a coffee, and she goes, "Here, try it. This is our traditional, cake." And I go, "Okay, great." And I bite into it, being polite, and I went, "More now, please." And she goes, "Oh, damn it, he likes it. That means we've got to share it now, because it's a yeast cake. It takes a long time to make, so it's a lot of kneading, a lot of processing, and then you got to give it time to rise, and then you lay it flat and you cover it in a chocolate and hazelnut layer. Yeah, sultanas in it as well, and then you roll it, and then you leave it in a cupboard for 2 days to rise.
Okay,
it's incredible, dude. And then they bake it, and just a slice of petitza with a coffee. They only make it for Christmas.
Okay.
Because it's so labor intensive to make it. So they were gutted when they found out that I enjoyed it, because now it's like, damn it, now the bloody Anglos, the Aussie kids walked in, and he enjoys our food, and we've got to cook more of it for him, and we've got to share it with him.
Jeez, the season of giving.
And at some point, he's going to want the recipe, and we're going to have to write that down for him, even though it's been handed down from... That's the other really cool thing. It's been taught mother to daughter.
Okay.
All the way through. Except for Auntie Maria on the other side, who only had sons. So
Did she pass it on to the sons?
She had to pick one of the sons to pass it down to. Yeah,
yep.
So there's a bit of a break in tradition there, but that's cool. He made potato a couple of years ago, and it was badass. It was great.
It was good?
Yeah, it was really good.
I thought you were just going to say bad, but...
No, it was great. No, it was really, really good. Right. He did a great job of it, yeah.
Well, you know what? We're going to be talking about sort of Christmas traditions, but Christmas is a very, very fascinating sort of holiday. It's kind of just... The way it is now is this amalgamation of all sorts of different celebrations.
And it's incredible when you think how huge it is in the Western calendar. It dominates this time of year. No one's talking about New Year's until well after Christmas, and the build-up starts in October.
Yeah.
And it's
massive. Too soon, doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
Like
Every
Christmas decorations in September, and you're just like, no, this is one day of the year. And actually, you know what? I'm going to go into that a little bit.
But it's the most wonderful day of the year.
For us, it's very much a one-day thing. But when I get into my discussion, I'm talking about Scandinavian traditions. It's Advent. It's it's 4 weeks. It's a month
leading up to it.
It's just great.
Yeah.
So
did you have anyone? I'm really going off track here, but did you know anyone at school or growing up from a European background or maybe a Lutheran that blew your mind because they opened their Christmas presents on Christmas Eve? Because I remember when I was a kid and, Christmas Day, you'd have to wait till Christmas morning and the presents would be sitting there for ages and you'd have to wait and be patient. Yeah. And then I met this family at school and they go, oh, yeah, we do ours the night before. You're the luckiest kids in the world. What?
Amazing.
And they go, yeah, but then we have to go to church. And I'm like, I'd take all my presents with me to church. Yeah. Whatever.
Playing Game Boy, playing Pokemon Red. Yep. And you got any more double A's?
No, because that was the thing. None of the Christmas toys came with batteries.
Yeah.
One of the radio stations here in Adelaide, do you remember, used to do a battery drive?
No.
On Boxing Day.
Brilliant.
Yeah, okay. Donate batteries to X, Y, and Z, and then you could ring up and they'd give out batteries as prizes to people.
Oh, very nice.
Really good
cool.
idea. Yeah.
Damon.
Yes, mate.
Have you heard of Mithra?
Is that Thor's hammer?
No. Mithra is the sun god.
I was going to ask...
In sort of that pagan... mythology,
sure.
Mithra, the sun god.
The next smart aleck answer I was going to give is that the shirt that Frodo wears and he doesn't die when the troll stabs him?
Okay, I'm just going to... that's clever. I'm just going to carry on. So Mithra...
Is it a make of car?
Mithra is the sun god, okay? Now, Mithra's birthday, December 25th.
Okay.
So this is actually where the day comes from.
Why does a God have a birthday?
So Mithra's birthday, December 25th. It's the celebration of... It occurs right after the winter solstice, December 21st.
That's right.
So it's the celebration of the end of the longer nights and the beginning of the longer days.
Which is
the sun god.
Which is totally backwards for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
all these winter traditions and we're here baking in 40-odd degrees.
So when the Christians decided to merge the holidays, the birth of Jesus with this pagan tradition, it's like, let's just make it the birthday of the Son of God was born on the birthday of the sun god.
I like how that twist.
I don't think they intended it, but yeah.
There would have been a translation issue, but it works really well in English now.
But there is a lot of sort of pagan history to a lot of Christian things. Yeah. But in terms of Christmas, you've heard of Yuletide.
Yeah, where does that come from?
So
I hope you've got that written down.
Yeah, Yule is the celebration of the winter solstice, which is December 21st. What the pagans would do, they'd bring evergreen trees inside to sort of celebrate life and to sort of... It was the middle of winter, so you'd bring these trees inside and you'd celebrate times when it wasn't cold and miserable.
That's right, yeah.
Things are full of life.
Tannenbaum, I think, is the German word for a Christmas tree.
Oh, okay.
When I was learning German in school, we used to, Tannenbaum. A bunch of German words come next that I can't remember, unfortunately.
Fascinatingly, it was the Germans that later took that idea, the evergreen tree inside, and they added apples to the tree.
Okay.
to represent the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden.
Ooh, wow, okay.
And apples became baubles.
There you go.
So that's where we get the Christmas decorations on the tree.
That's nice. What about tinsel? Do they just get really flamboyantly coloured snakes?
I think they started, so they did apples. They started to put like all sorts of candies and treats all throughout, and that's just sort of expanded into what we have now, the Christmas tree.
That's kind of cool. Can I just give you a little interesting fact on Christmas trees?
Yeah.
It is better for the environment for you to have a live or cut down Christmas tree in your house than a fake one.
Well, that's fantastic because I love live trees.
There you go.
And I mean, I know that you saw as you walked in the door that I have a fake tree.
You do.
I just was really unorganized this year.
Yeah, I don't even have a tree, man, so I wouldn't even worry about it.
Yeah, no, that is something that I intend to be doing in the future. So now I have even more reason.
Because it takes, it uses the process of making a plastic tree, gives off more CO2 than one single tree would absorb.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Another reason. Get a real tree, people.
Yeah.
They smell great.
They do smell great.
Yeah. Furthermore to the sort of Yuletide sort of thing. So it was also a celebration of the fertility god. Yule, spelt J-U-L.
Okay.
Julie.
So, her name's Julie.
Well, it's a fertility god. You would get a Yule log, which is a symbol of fertility. So
interesting. Where's the symbolism there? I wonder.
So the Yule log, they would burn this fertility symbol for 12 days. That's where we get the 12 days of Christmas. And every day of this burning of the Yule log, there'd be sacrifices. You'd sacrifice animals and humans to the fertility god Yule.
Are you making this bit up?
No, that's true.
Can we bring that back?
Every day of the Yuletide.
Annoying neighbor.
Burning of the Yule log.
Annoying neighbours. Come on, get inside. Bring your dog. He'll go for tomorrow. Come on.
Sacrifice. Yeah.
You first, dog next.
Why
Let's
not?
go.
We need to appease Yule.
That's right. All powerful Julie. We need to do something about it.
And another fascinating thing, the history of is the Christmas stocking.
Yes.
We just hang stockings on the fireplace, and they're full of little presents and candies and all sorts of things. So one story I've heard where this has come from was that a man, Saint Nicholas, who is sort of part of he's not Santa Claus, but he was the part of the basis for that. Santa Claus, again, amalgamation of all sorts of different things and characters and people that came to be what we know Santa Claus as.
So you call him Santa Claus, don't you?
That's it's become more of a thing now.
I think so.
More familiar to Aussies, probably Father Christmas.
Well, but definitely in mine because my family's English.
Yes. And
Father Christmas is a legit English thing, like the old English tradition, Father Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't think Santa Claus is a thing in England, and if it is, it's a very Americanized thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Australia's got that weird mix of cultures. Like we started with a very English culture, and we're embracing the American stuff now. So I think
it was a thing when I came back. So, as you know, born in Australia, lived in the US for a little while, and then by the time I came back, I was about 5 or 6, and everybody was calling it Father Christmas. And I'm like, what?
Who's this dude?
I grew up, spent time in America thinking Santa Claus. So, but then came to accept that we called it Father Christmas over here. But I think nowadays it seems more acceptable just go Santa Claus.
Say whatever you want.
Yeah,
frankly.
It doesn't matter. Same guy, really.
He's made up anyway.
Oh, what?
Oh, no.
Oh,
moving right along.
This is disappointing.
I've just ruined it for any child listening.
So, Saint Nicholas, the man, the actual human person that did exist,
the man, the myth, the legend.
He overheard a merchant, and merchant had 3 daughters, and they couldn't afford their dowries. So you'd pay the husband, to get married.
Literally, when women were just one step up above slaves and 2 steps above cattle. Yeah.
We're really just hammering home the joys of
this. This is a wonderful, the most wonderful time of the year.
So Saint Nicholas overheard that they couldn't afford their dowries, and what he did, he riding past on his horse, and he threw a couple of a sack of coins or several sacks of coins up over the rooftop, down the chimney.
Oh.
Perfect, excellent basketball skills, right?
Wow,
there.
yeah.
Into the chimney.
Should come and play for the 36ers.
And they've fallen into the daughter's stockings that were hanging by the fireplace to dry.
There you go.
Yeah.
What an amazing aim.
So, yeah, fantastic. So that's one of the stories of where it came from.
Do you reckon that's linked then to Father Christmas crawling down the chimney?
Could be.
Could be. Like
be
a similar.
There. Yeah.
Unless it's your dad and he snuck down there to surprise you the night before and he just didn't come home for Christmas. And it's weeks later that you notice the smell and you realise that Dad actually got caught in the chimney, and the fire brigade had to come and get him out, and that's why that girl from Gremlins hates Christmas.
Wow! Yeah. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
I did read, and I unfortunately don't have more information on this. Just sort of briefly, what I kind of remember is that there was a god of hearths and fireplaces, and was all about keeping the house warm.
That makes sense.
And that sort of tied in as well.
Yeah.
But another story actually about the Christmas stockings is that Santa had an assistant who sort of closely related to, I think, what you're going to talk about, Krampus. And apparently Krampus was the one that threw stuff into the stockings.
Really?
Yeah, gifted
See,
stuff.
that didn't pop up in my research, but
there you go. So that's another one of the potential stories for where the idea of Christmas stockings.
What has popped up in my research is a lot darker.
Okay,
yeah,
brilliant.
Not quite as pleasant. Should I start that now? Or?
Yeah, get into it, man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's hear
Great.
Your Christmas tradition.
What I'm going to try and convince you of is that the Krampus is I'm basically just going to say it's a fun tradition. And I'd kind of love to see it take off here.
Okay.
You know, I'm very realistic that it probably won't. It's very much a cultural thing, but I love it. I think it looks cool, and I'd love to be a part of it somehow. So the Krampus is perhaps the darkest, most insidious, least kid-friendly Christmas tradition I've ever heard of, and I love it. I absolutely love it. You can probably tell with all the jokes I've been making and my choice of favourite movie and all that. I'm not a big Christmas guy. I'm not really into it.
I didn't get that impression.
No, I didn't? Okay, good. I'm a good actor. I'm a good liar. So, I mean, I enjoy it. I like it for what it is, but I used to work in retail.
Okay. No, say no more.
Exactly. I think that kills it for everyone. Imagine growing up, James.
I did that. I don't have to imagine.
No, we'll picture it then.
Okay.
Okay.
Go back.
God.
My happy place.
Okay.
Diddle-oo.
Shimmering. Okay, imagine growing up, being told that good kids got presents and bad kids got beaten by a goat-legged horned creature with a love of cruelty. That's the Krampus tradition.
Sweet.
According to my the big source that I used today for my research, ancientorigins.net.
Familiar with
you know the
one.
Yeah. Your morning routine, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, ancientorigins.net.
Yeah.
The myth of the Krampus can be found in the Alpine region, so Austria, southern Germany, Hungary, Slovenia.
Yeah. There you go.
Where Natalie's from. Dobre dan, Slovens. And the Czech Republic. And the legend has gained long legs reaching across Europe and around the world. Germany might be the place where this myth is most commonly associated, where children celebrate. I'm going to try and channel my Year 4 German lessons here and try and get this right. Krampusnacht on the eve of December 5th. So really 4th of December.
Okay.
So that's where the kids stay. The kids try to behave themselves. They stay off the beast's radar to avoid being, how's this for cruel, beaten with sticks, whipped with horsehair, and then thrown into a bag and carried off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, wouldn't want that.
No. Ask me where he carries them off to, James.
Where do they get carried off to?
Hell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the punishment for not being good.
For being a naughty child.
And the only thing you get for being good is presents.
Presents.
I feel like you should just get lifetime guaranteed heaven.
Absolutely. It's not.
That's the opposite.
It's not a fair trade, is it? No. It's. So the origins of the Krampus, like most of the things we've been talking about, it's a bit of a mix. It's a bit of a mix of paganism and early Christian traditions. The best we can tell, he's almost certainly related to Greek and Middle European creatures like satyrs and fauns, like think Mr. Tumnus from Narnia. But he may also be related to some Nordic beliefs, Scandinavian sort of stuff. He's believed to be the son of Hel or Hela, played here by Cate Blanchett.
Oh, yep.
And his name comes from the German word for claw, Krampen. So what about this? Oh, I haven't described him either yet, have I?
Well, you sort of gave me an image of Charles Xavier from the X-Men with goat legs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Charles Xavier. Where did that come from?
That's the guy who played Mr. Tumnus in.
Oh no! I was thinking Patrick Stewart. I was thinking OG original.
Sorry. Should have clarified. Young Charles Xavier.
That was the oddest image of Charles.
He's got goat legs.
I'm Patrick Stewart with goat legs.
Still be classy as hell.
And he's on the bridge of the Enterprise. Yeah, he's Picard with goat legs. What the hell?
We are so tired.
Aren't we? Did we mention that we went to the midnight screening and we both got home about 3 a.m?
We didn't sleep till 4.
Okay, so what about this guy makes me think, yeah, make it a Christmas tradition.
Brilliant.
Well, if you're like me and you think Christmas is just an overblown festivity of niceness, so sickly sweet and corporate it will make your teeth rot and then charge you for it, this is the tradition for you.
Brilliant.
I wrote all that down. I think that was a pretty good joke.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be alone in that either. The tradition of the Krampus is taking off around the world, with horror movies, comics, and popular culture really getting on board with this darker Yuletide hero. An article on GermanWay.com. You're familiar with?
Oh, yeah. No,
that's right after AncientOrigins.net.
Yeah.
Yep. An article on GermanWay.com sums up his growing popularity in the US, observing that many Americans, fed up with what they view as the far too saccharine, ho-ho-ho, very neat and tidy, commercialized Santa Claus tradition found in the United States today, have turned to European alpine folklore and customs for an alternative. The most appealing part of the Krampus tradition is a booze-fueled gothic dress-up party called Krumpelschlaf.
Okay.
Yeah? Say it with me. Krumpelschlaf.
Krumpelschlaf.
And I think it means like festival or celebrate, which is where we get laugh from.
Sounds like a great party.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you about it. Since the 20th century, this festival has grown every year and takes on its own unique forms across the Germanic countries, but usually involves parades of people dressed up as the mythical beast, hustling children and threatening them with mock sticks. Schnapps is usually involved. The tradition is growing since the end of the Second World War, when it was banned by fascist governments. Since then, churches have also relaxed their stance on the festival, and even small towns such as Schladming in Austria. I'm doing my best.
You're doing well, and I'm not gonna mock you because mine's Scandinavian.
Yeah, right. We'll do our best with that. We'll help each other. Schladming in Austria, which has a population of 6,782 in 2016. Did my research. They record.
Once. Oh!
It's the most wonderful time of the year. So they've got a population of about 6,000. Their meetings, their Krumpelschlaf gets up to about 1,200 people. It's like a sixth of the entire town turns out to get dressed up in goat legs and whip children with bits of sticks. To me, this is a tradition growing as a response to the modern idea of Christmas. The end of the year should be a time of reflection, of revelry and fun, but what we get, especially here in Australia, is a corporate-driven red and white and green blur with a Mariah Carey soundtrack. The Krampus reflects a natural rebelliousness to these sort of trends, but also reminds us to be accountable for our behaviour. Again, GermanWay.com. I'm going to start following you and start checking this up every morning. There's some really good stuff on here.
Yeah, okay.
I might knock Tumblr out of there.
Yeah, you got to make time somewhere.
You do, and something's got to go. Yeah. Tinder went a long time ago.
Yeah, because you got Natalie now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, we met before Tinder.
Oh,
that's going to be an awkward thing to explain when she hears this. Tinder's. I don't have Tinder. I've never had Tinder. GermanWay.com again sums it up well by quoting Michael Karras of the Recorder newspaper in New Jersey, who, after clearly spending some time immersed in the tradition, wrote, "While being relentlessly pursued through the snow by a horned beast dead set on punishing the wicked may seem like an unorthodox path to embracing the holiday spirit, the lashings were an immediate catalyst for introspection, after which I found myself silently promising to become a better person in the new year.
Okay.
And if I was drunk on schnapps, being chased through the snow by a man in fur wearing goat's horns, trying to whip me with birch branches, I would contemplate my life choices too.
Yeah.
I would seriously think about what got me here to this point." So, James.
Yes.
I'm very tired. Are you convinced that the Krampus tradition is one you would like to see adopted in Australia?
It sounds very dark. I think, yes. I'd like to see it incorporated.
You'd rather be the guy wearing the Krampus suit doing the chasing, though, wouldn't you? Surely, yeah.
I think, like, as a person who doesn't have kids, you know.
Yeah. That's the opposite of what you normally hear.
There's no consequences for being a bad kid.
Sure.
You know, you get presents regardless.
Yeah, it's
So
a bit like that.
Why not bring in something that's an element of Christmas?
Yeah.
That sort of actively encourages
Mm.
better behavior. You know,
Yeah.
it'd probably be terrifying to kids, and maybe not the best idea.
It might border on child abuse.
Maybe.
You know, I do not condone actually whipping a child with anything.
No.
I don't, nor even scaring a child.
Yeah.
The whole thing would have to be, but you meet these kids that love horror.
Yeah.
You know, there'd be kids that would love going to a Krampus parade and watching all these wicked beasties marching down the street.
Yeah.
And it's mostly for the adults.
Yeah.
It's mostly a bit of fun. And like I said, that rebelliousness in going, blah, Christmas is now dark and scary, blah, you know, and I'm going to whip you with a birch branch and have some schnapps, you know, rather than Mariah Carey playing on a loop.
Yeah. Or Michael Bublé.
While you work in a shop. As people come in and constantly ask you, is that reduced? No, regular price.
Yeah.
But there's a Christmas sale, but it doesn't cover these items. Then why does it say 40% off everything? It doesn't. It says up to 40% off most items. Most items? Well, why not these items?
Don't work in Christmas retail. Actually, you know what? Do work in Christmas retail once in your life.
Learn yourself some humility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
if you
become a decent human being.
Yeah, if you can do it for 5 years like I did, you can get through anything.
But yes, Krampus sounds great.
Cool, good.
Let's bring it in.
Oh, good
Maybe
man.
just less dark, but for the most part. Yeah. Sounds like a great idea to me.
Cool.
I'm in.
Good. Can I get a bed now?
Yeah, no.
I'm going to listen to you.
You're going to listen to me. I'm going to be convincing you, Damon, that I can't pronounce Scandinavian words.
I was about to say overconfident, but now, no, you're bang on there.
Actually, you know what? No, before I get into that, I just realized something you didn't mention that I found out today about Krampus. So sort of a horned, sort of devilly type creature.
Yep.
That evolved, that horned goat.
Yes.
Evolved into the 8 reindeer.
Hey?
Yeah. So remember how I was telling you that there was a Krampus type creature that was Santa Claus's
that's something I did.
You know?
I didn't get time to go into that, but he's very much Saint Nicholas's offsider. So sort of a God and the devil type dichotomy arrangement.
That he was associated with Santa Claus as well.
Yes.
And that evolved into the 8 reindeer, the horned. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
This is what happens when something happens a long time ago, and we are now 2,000 years ago as a consequence.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Imagine taking one of those early pagans and taking them to a Christmas lunch nowadays in Australia.
Oh yeah.
And we serve,
where you have like shrimp cocktails.
I was going to say where we serve prawns. Exactly. Yeah, that would baffle him.
No, what I am actually going to be convincing you of, Damon, is that there's a whole variety of Scandinavian customs that we should incorporate into our Christmas celebrations.
Okay.
So for those of you playing at home, and Damon, maybe you don't know, maybe I don't know, Scandinavia is a region in Northern Europe that includes Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. And sometimes some interpretations include Iceland and Finland.
Can I prove my knowledge on this? Because geography is very much.
I just told you what countries.
Okay, but did you know the landmass is also an irregular peninsula, often referred to as Fennoscandia?
No.
Which includes Norway, Sweden, Finland, and not Denmark, because Denmark's attached to the top of Germany.
Okay.
And it's only really attached to Scandinavia through culture, religion, and similar languages.
Yep.
Fennoscandia is that weird-looking peninsula that sticks out and goes around and includes Finland. And quite often Estonia is included into that as well.
Okay.
Iceland included only because it's a, I think Norway colonized that. Leif Erikson ended up colonizing Greenland. He colonized Greenland, knew that the snow would melt one day, didn't happen, and that a lush, verdant Garden of Eden would be revealed. And then Iceland is covered in volcanoes. So, go figure.
Yeah.
Also, the Faroe Islands is included under this, and that's a part of Denmark. That's an overseas colony of Denmark.
Yeah.
And down in the Caribbean, there's a couple of other Danish places that use the euro as their currency, interestingly. Okay. I think Antigua? No. Bermuda?
Kokomo.
Kokomo. What were you talking about, James? Fennoscandia.
Scandinavian customs.
That's right.
So I think when you envision these countries sort of in that peak of winter, covered in snow, that image it's practically synonymous with an ideal Christmas.
It's the typical white Christmas, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, being here in Australia, we're entering our summer season, which hot and dry.
It has not snowed where we live ever.
Definitely not in December.
No.
So we might not fully capture that white Christmas feeling, but look, I think that these Scandinavian countries have some very unique, albeit sometimes odd, traditions.
I like an odd tradition.
Yeah, they'd make celebrating Christmas even more fun if we were to adopt them. I'm gonna start off light here. Something I think you're gonna enjoy. Let's kick things off by talking food.
Oh, bring it on.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Surely one of everybody's favorite parts about Christmas.
It is my favorite part of Christmas. I think the Christmas lunch.
Yeah. So something that I mentioned earlier, one treat that's very popular around Christmas time, especially in Denmark, is the puffernuss. These are a little sort of gingerbread type, they're like spice cookies, almost like soft gingerbread. They've become a part of, they've been a part of Christmas celebrations in Europe since the 1850s. Mm-hmm. You can get them here. I don't know how sort of authentic they are to the traditional sort of style. You know, you buy them in a bag at Big W, but
yeah, probably, yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see them become more prominent. In Sweden, again, like I said earlier, I'm going to butcher some of these names, like so bad.
I'm so keen to hear you try, though. You've got no idea.
In Sweden, they have lusbele, lusbel, sometimes called luskat.
I've got no context to be able to say if you're right or not.
A traditional saffron bun, usually made with raisins. Do you know what the difference is between a raisin and a sultana?
There is no difference.
A raisin is naturally sun-dried, whereas they use sort of oils and stuff to dry it. I don't know what it is, but yeah, sure. Sultanas are covered in something before they're dried.
What about dates?
No, I'm good. I'm sorted. I got a date. And you've got Natalie, remember? So
I don't have Tinder, and I never have.
It's a traditional saffron bun made with raisins, and it's curled into an S shape before baking. I don't know if that's important, but it's an S shape. They look almost like freshly made pretzels. That sort of think that beautiful golden pastry.
I'm thinking about Petitza. It's
probably
very,
very similar. Yep. When you were saying that, I was thinking about this. So often it's eaten together with gingerbread cookies, and apparently it's delicious.
I'm thinking of that with a coffee.
Yeah.
You know, just like a real strong black coffee and some of those cakes.
That's Lussebule. I don't know if there's sort of emphasis on any of those letters, but Lusbel.
Could I read it? Can you show me? Are there any umlauts or anything in there?
No, I didn't type it with umlauts, so
Lussebule.
Or Lussekat.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what that is, yeah.
Cool.
Sounds absolutely delicious.
I will look out for them.
In Norway, the drink of choice is glaug.
Glaug?
Yeah.
That sounded Scandinavian. Yeah, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say
it's a mulled wine.
Oh, yeah, I'm in.
It's used to dip... these words are just coming at me. Pepperkaka.
May I? Most of this podcast is going to be pepperkaka. Yeah, okay. Yep.
It's their version of gingerbread, but it's made with other spices as well as ginger. Now, Christmas tables, or julbord in Sweden, they're called, pretty much it's a Christmas buffet.
Oh, I love it.
Love a Christmas buffet. Absolutely. It consists of a vast array of mouth-watering foods. We're talking, like your ham and your turkey. Then you got meatballs and pickled herring and smoked salmon.
No, you've lost me.
Mini hot dogs.
You got me back on board.
In Denmark, the tradition is to take a shot of schnapps after every plate that you eat.
That sounds like hard work.
Fantastic. It all ends with dessert consisting of rice pudding, which is known as risgrot or risengrot, a porridge made of rice, cream, and sugar sprinkled with cinnamon.
We used to have it growing up.
Yeah.
It's in England as well. Yeah.
So this rice pudding dessert, it's very popular actually. In many countries, they'll place a single almond in one of the serves, hide it in one of the servings, and whoever finds the almond wins a prize. And the common prize is
the almond.
Is a pig made of marzipan.
Oh my God.
Marzipan pig.
Wow.
I'm not sure why.
It just is.
For some reason in Scandinavia, pigs are associated with Christmas.
So Denmark, like I said, not geographically linked to Fennoscandia, but culturally, linguistically it is. Denmark's flag is red and white. There is a correlation there between their native breed of pig.
Okay.
You'd have to let me research that and confirm that, but I'm sure it's because they had a darker shade of pig. I'm very tired.
Okay.
And I forgot that fact halfway through. Pigs are important. Okay.
Yeah, it just seemed like a very interesting little thing. But hey, eat some rice pudding, win a prize.
Why not?
Sound like fun.
And you get an almond.
Yeah, and you get an almond. You get a marzipan pig. There's not enough little games like that in Christmas.
No, there's not. Well, did you ever... no, I won't, because I might be stepping on something you're about to bring up.
Okay.
But a tradition in England used to be that they'd put money in a Christmas pudding.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't.
And they stopped doing it after kids were choking,
Choking
on the money.
Yeah, coins or notes?
Coins.
Okay. Wow.
Notes.
Now, okay, let's get into some of the actual traditions, the unique ways that these countries have of celebrating Christmas.
Yep.
Similar to elves, in Denmark and Norway, they have Nisse, or in Sweden, they're called Tomte. So they have an appearance very similar to garden gnomes. These creatures, they live in houses or barns. It's said that they secretly act as the guardians of these homes. They serve as Santa's eyes on the ground, reporting back if children misbehave.
They're spies.
Pretty much.
Christmas spies.
Yeah.
The little buggers.
If treated well, they protect the family and their animals. However, they are short-tempered. And if insulted, they will steal, play tricks, and even maim or kill the livestock.
I love... not the maiming and killing of livestock, but I love the nasty, rebellious...
Mischievous.
There are consequences involved. You're not just getting a present as a token effort here.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a lot to learn from Europe.
Yeah. So, but people, they decorate their homes with Nisse or Tomte figures, and children will leave out a bowl of friskrot to thank the Tomte for their hard work.
Leave out a bowl of...
The rice pudding.
Oh, the rice... Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yep. Which Dad then sneaks out and eats in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another major sort of Christmas decoration on par with the Nisse and the Tomte is the Yule goat. Yeah, no, the Yule goat.
Now, can I guess at this? They burn the Yule goat over a period of 12 days while sacrificing logs.
Not quite.
Okay.
But Yule goat or Julebokken, it goes back to pre-Christian times. It can be connected with the worship of Thor.
Now, Thor was had a chariot.
Yeah,
with
so
two goats.
we're not talking about the Aussie god Chris Hemsworth. We're talking about the Norse god.
Our boy Chris.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we know him.
Yeah, good mates. Everybody knows him, right?
Everybody knows. Yeah, he lives down the street.
Mate, Chris.
He used to work with my mum.
But the actual Norse god Thor had a chariot drawn by goats. You're absolutely right. So the Yule goat was once the traditional giver of gifts, actually, before being replaced in more modern times by Santa Claus and even Tomte and the like.
Does that explain the imagery of like the older man with a beard and a huge hammer?
Well, actually, apparently one of the bases for Santa Claus is Odin.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I believe that. Yep.
Because again, Norse sort of background here. Giant Yule goats made of straw can be found in many Swedish town squares. The most famous of these is in Gavle. It's been erected every year since 1966 on the first day of Advent.
Is it the same goat, or do they build a new goat every year?
They build a new... So it's led to a bit of a darker tradition.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Every year, vandals and arsons try to destroy and burn down the Gavle goat. Having succeeded 37 times since 1966.
Bastards.
The most recent destruction occurred last year when an arson doused the goat in petrol and burned it down. Mere hours after its inauguration.
What?
This thing's up for like the 4 weeks of Advent. So first day, just burnt it up.
So that explains... Okay, that answers my next question, which was going to be, so is this an accepted tradition? Like, is it a...
No.
Is it a challenge?
I was reading all the stuff about how they've tried to like fireproof it, and I was like, they've actually put in precautions to stop this from happening. But it's still... It is practically its tradition by itself. To try to destroy the Yule goat.
I don't know how I feel about that. Because on one hand, it's like, cheeky, rebellious tradition. On the other hand, someone worked really hard to build that goat.
It's a fine goat.
Why doesn't mine look like that?
According to, I know you're all wondering, according to a Twitter post from within the last 24 hours.
I was wondering, yeah.
The 2017 Gavle goat is still standing. Yeah. So what are we at time of recording? It's the 14th, so probably the 13th over there in Scandinavia, the evening of, or maybe just the morning of the 14th.
Okay,
so
I'm going to pay attention to that.
The goat is still standing,
and we need to. Can we give regular updates on whether the goat's still standing?
We will provide updates on our social media,
and we will not explain the context.
No.
So people will just be sitting at home, get a notification from us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. They'll pick up the phone. The goat is still standing.
Yeah.
Those boys have lost the plot.
If you people listening, you know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
You're part of a very secret club right now.
And then share the status.
Yes.
If we put up on Facebook or Twitter, the goat still stands, it's your obligation, listeners, to share that status.
Yes. Please, get out there. # goat still stands.
This is some really great viral marketing we've just created, James.
Yeah, so that's still standing. I think that's a fun. Just imagine just a giant goat straw in the middle of Victoria Square.
Yeah,
I'm
sort of picturing a slightly fatter, older policeman patrolling around, like an English bobby twirling a baton,
with the baton.
whistling to himself, walking around, and then a guy wearing a mask over his eyes and a stripy jumper
shirt.
Comes sneaking over with a thing of petrol.
The sack over them.
Oi, you! You caught me, copper. Next time.
Almost got away with it. In the 18th century, the Yule goat was actually thought of as an invisible spirit that would appear to ensure that the decorations were done right. Yeah. They take their Christmas tree decorating.
Goat.
They take their Christmas tree decorating very seriously in Scandinavia. Trees should be as straight as possible, and outside of the cities, people, they like to fell their own trees. They take a lot of pride in that. And like I said earlier, I'm a big fan of real pine trees. I am so for this. For me,
that's a bigger tradition in the States, though, isn't it, than here?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's probably more of a northern hemisphere thing.
Oh, it would be. Well, we don't. I mean, we grow pine
it's
trees,
just not
but it's just not a done thing.
But yeah, for me, that fragrance of the live tree, it brings a sense of Christmas. Again, if I was better organized, I would have a live tree this year.
Sure.
So that I can get on board with that. One thing that we probably shouldn't adopt here.
Okay.
Decorating the tree with actual lit candles.
No.
You're on board?
I was about to go. I'm on board. That sounds like fun. No. No. This is
not
extreme
a great
fire
idea.
Danger season.
Yeah. Another thing they do. So Advent. It's a major part of their celebrations. Like I said, it's like a month-long celebration.
Yep.
Let's not just focus on one day. Let's make it a big month. It should be, big parties all the time. Advent, it's a major part of their celebrations, whether you're religious or not. So there's a tradition of the Advent wreath, which has 4 candles, and one of these candles is lit every Sunday in the lead up to Christmas Day. And these Sundays are a great opportunity for quality family time, which they're very big on over there.
Yep.
St. Lucia's Day is celebrated on the 13th of December in Advent. It commemorates St. Lucia. She was a 3rd century martyr under the Great Persecution, which that's the most severe persecution of Christians in the Roman Empire.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. According to legend, she helped Christians hiding in the catacombs and brought them food and supplies. In order to bring as many supplies with her as possible, she attached candles to a wreath on her head so that she could have both hands free as she's going through the catacombs.
Well, there you go.
How awesome does that sound?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit kooky. Here's that chick that brings food. What's that on?
What's with the candles?
What's with the candle on?
Just
bring your food. Beggars can't be choosers.
So the celebrations for St. Lucia's Day, they usually involve a procession in which young girls dress in white with one girl as Lucia, candles in her hair, red sash to symbolize her martyrdom. The girls, they sing carols and they hand out cookies and saffron buns as they go.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
I'd have a saffron bun.
Sweet. Yeah.
Got a coffee to go with that?
Sure. Some of your stuff. What was it called?
Petizza.
Yeah. Why not?
There was an odd moment there when you were just standing there pointing at me going, some of your stuff.
Your stuff.
Your stuff.
Yeah, you know the stuff.
Damon, your stuff. You know what I'm talking about.
You should.
James has lost the plot.
You're really tired.
You're really tired. I'm really tired.
Now, this is for our pet listeners out there.
Mishka.
Hey, Mishka.
Hey,
How
Mishka.
You doing?
You
Mishka.
Crazy cat, you.
In Denmark, they used to believe that animals would gain the ability to speak on Christmas Eve, right? So the tradition still stands, though. In order to ensure your pet's not going to say anything bad or embarrassing about you, you give special treats to eat on Christmas Eve.
Mishka's owner, be good to Mishka. Feed him.
And he won't have anything embarrassing to say about you.
And if he does have anything embarrassing to say, hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram.
We want to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mishka, let us know. Now, okay, I'm going to absolutely butcher the pronunciation of this next custom.
You've been doing really well, and I think a lot better than what you thought you would. So,
all right, but this one. Kalle Anka Osh Hans Vanna Onska Godjul.
No, that was painful.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I have a go? That's what? Kalle Anka Och.
Sorry, I'm covering up the next line.
Hans Vanna Onska Godjul.
Yeah.
Godjul.
Yeah.
It's because it's a Scandinavian J, so it's a y, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Yule. That is
Yule.
Yule. Yeah,
cool.
Like that god that I was talking about. So this basically translates.
Well, what does it all mean, James?
It translates to Donald Duck and his friends wish a Merry Christmas.
That's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's not. What does it really mean?
No, that's what it means. Donald Duck and his friends wish a Merry Christmas. So I love that it's Donald Duck and not Mickey Mouse. Like, that's just great to begin with.
That's not the bit that's got me confused, James.
Basically, cartoons were rare on television back like 1960s. Okay, so this was a big deal. It's a program that consists of various short Disney clips and as well as feature films, has been played on Christmas Eve since 1960.
There you go.
Yeah, so ratings indicate that around 40% of Swedes tune in every year, Christmas Eve. They tune into this special, yeah.
Okay.
So just imagine just a day of just watching Disney movies.
I mean, that sounds like you every day. But funnily enough, can I interrupt a little bit because I've got another tradition very similar to that I had written down. There's a show called Dinner for One.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Which I told you briefly about before, which is played in Germany and all sorts of European countries. Traditionally Christmas Eve, sometimes it's played on New Year's Eve or both. And it's the most watched show in Europe. They reckon it's the most watched episode of anything ever.
Oh, okay, well.
Because it's played every year without fail and everyone tunes in to watch it. They can't get enough. It was made, it's an 18-minute long single-take black and white recording featuring British comedians Freddie Frinton and May Warden. May Warden sits down at the head of her table and Freddie walks in drunk. And he's the manservant of the house. And he's basically trying to, sloshed as anything, trying to serve drinks and he's trying to serve food and stuff, but he can't stay straight. So there's all sorts of creative ways of him like leaning on a 45-degree angle trying to pour soup and stuff with a ladle. And, it's funny. You watch it once and you go, okay, yeah, no, that's really good comedy. Every year since it was made, the Germans can't get enough of it.
Does it have anything to do with Christmas plot-wise?
I think it's Christmas lunch.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a link, but it's just one of those things. It'd be like if The Castle.
Yeah, okay.
Are great. If it turns out that somewhere deep in Swaziland, every Tuesday they sit down and they watch The Castle and they can't get enough of it. That random.
Yeah, okay.
It's just odd. But okay, cool. Right. I like the idea of watching cartoons.
Yeah, just have Christmas Eve, just watch cartoons.
Why not?
Yeah, you touched on this earlier. Really, in these countries, Christmas Eve is the big day.
It is, yeah.
It's it's not about Christmas. Basically, Christmas Eve, it's an all-day party. So from about lunchtime, families will gather together. They'll watch the Disney Christmas special. And the Yule board will be served up. Remember how I mentioned that you do schnapps shots after every plate?
Yep, a lot of schnapps is drunk.
The thing starts at like midday, okay?
Oh, wow.
So things kick off in the early afternoon going well into the evening. Yeah, I think you could say things are going to get quite merry, really.
There will be some stories told. There will be some songs sung, I think, that night, yeah.
So once the family has finished eating, they are visited by Santa Claus himself. So an adult family member will dress up as the big guy, knock on the door, they'll hand out gifts to the family, and then Santa bids farewell, and the family member returns having bought the newspaper.
Or been in the loo. Or had fallen down the stairs because he's drunk too much schnapps and couldn't believe no one noticed he was missing.
Yeah. Like you said, they open their presents on Christmas Eve. That's when it's all said and done. This means you get all of that out of the way. Your Christmas Day, you get to sleep in.
Oh.
All around, it's just a far more effective use of time.
Bliss.
Like you said, Christmas Day is just like you wake up and then everybody's all excited, but you're waiting around for people to eat their breakfast, have coffee. Everybody sit down by the tree. Let's do this.
Let's do this in order. And then everyone line up, oldest to youngest, get in order.
Then you go through, you open the presents. After a while, nobody's actually paying attention to who's opening what.
No.
And then you open presents, and then you kind of look around and go, okay, now what? It's it's 8 a.m. We've got 4 hours to lunch.
Yeah.
What do I do?
We used to go to another family member's for breakfast.
Okay.
But I get what you mean, though. Well, I once opened a Barbie dream house.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't mine, but we were just grabbing at presents randomly.
Oh, that got that intense.
Yeah, it was that. It was a bit of a bum fight at my place at Christmas. Yeah, big family.
But yeah, let's just have a big Christmas Eve party.
Sounds great.
Just all day party.
Get it done and then sleep in the next day.
Yeah.
Sounds incredible.
Then what happens? So the week between Christmas Day and New Year's, what you do? You spend that time visiting with friends and family who you've not had time to see during the year.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that. Yeah.
No.
Well, that might be
people you want to see.
Okay, that'll do. Yeah. But if I wanted to see them, I would have seen them throughout the year.
Life gets busy, man. Life gets tough. Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
What do you think, Damon? Do you think we should adopt some of these unique and quirky Scandinavian foods and traditions into our own celebrations? Make Christmas a bit more fun.
All aside from that last one. Christmas is already an obligation to try and see as many people in a day as you can, you know.
But you get a whole week to just kind of take your time. It's not on the day rushing from, her parents' house to your parents' house to your brother's house.
I thought that would get easier as an adult. It's gotten harder. It's really hard. No, I like it. I can say now that I'm sort of pseudo a part of a European family as well. It is a big deal. You know, lunch is a bigger deal. Being around family is a bigger deal. The decorations are a bigger deal. Well, everything in Europe is a bit of a bigger deal. In Australia, we're very laid back, I think, and the fact that it's usually close to 40. You know, and the whole let's have a seafood lunch rather than a hot roast and things like that. I think we just take Christmas a bit more in our stride here, and we just try and have a good, fun day. And
I wonder if that's why I'm here just a little over a week till Christmas.
Haven't done any
shopping? A week
and
and a half, haven't done my shopping.
Wow.
It's just like it's not the same sort of charm.
No, I think you might be right. Yeah. But then if it's -2 when you wake up in the morning, I'm running to the shops to do my Christmas, and that's going to keep me warm. Yeah. Do my shopping.
I'm going to do schnapps after every plate of food.
Yeah, because that also keeps me warm.
But again, let's throw it out to the audience. What do you guys think? Are you convinced by the argument? Should we adopt Krampus as our child? Look after it. No. Should we adopt Krampus as part of our Christmas celebrations?
And get him to stop beating up our actual kids. What do you think?
Should we adopt some of those Scandinavian traditions as our own? What Christmas traditions do you have in your family?
We'd love to, especially if you come from a different culture.
You know what I heard?
Go on.
It's due to a very clever marketing campaign from KFC.
Yeah.
In Japan.
Yeah.
The Japanese eat KFC for Christmas Eve dinner.
Really?
Yeah. Brilliant marketing campaign.
That's evil.
They eat fried chicken on Christmas Eve.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Christmas isn't really a big thing over there, but that's something they do. Christmas Eve. Wow. Fried chicken.
KFC. That's awful. How dare they?
But please let us know what you thought. Let us know about your own Christmas traditions. You can do that on our social media accounts.
Absolutely. You can hit us up on Twitter and Instagram at Are You Convinced. You can look for us on Facebook, search Are You Convinced, or go to www.facebook.com/areyouconvinced.podcast. Please donate to our Patreon, www.patreon.com/Are You Convinced. James, I didn't forget.
You did not forget. That is correct.
That's right. I did not forget.
Good work.
But yes, so tired. I was staring at the words, just like I was in a play, waiting for you to finish your lines.
Okay. I'm ready.
That's my line. And let us know your comments on social media. And I nailed it. I nailed the audition.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
If you are enjoying the podcast, please leave us a review on iTunes. That would mean a lot to us.
Really helps us.
Yeah, if you want to donate to our Patreon again, that would mean the absolute world. It means we get to continue doing this.
If you even just want to comment on Facebook when the thing comes up, if you want to comment on the YouTube or whatever, just let us know you're listening.
We love to hear from you.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah. We are actually going to be taking a break over Christmas. We're sorry, sad face. We will be back.
We will miss you more than you'll miss us.
Yeah, probably.
The most wonderful time of the year.
We'll miss all 10 of you. We're growing. We have an audience now.
There's more than that.
More than 2.
We even have a cat.
Yeah. Brilliant, Mishka. How you doing? But yes, we're taking a bit of a break. We'll be back with more episodes in the new year. Keep an eye on those social media accounts for announcements about our return date.
And the goat.
And the goat, yes.
The goat still stands.
Hashtag the goat still stands. Make sure you share that.
Share that.
You have to share that post.
Mm-hmm.
No context. You're not allowed to explain it. Just share it. Goat still stands.
Don't answer any questions.
No. Goat still stands. Excellent. All right. With any luck, we might have some of that beer episode we did, some of that footage put up on Patreon during the break to tide you over. So look out for that. As always, convince your friends.
Convince your family. Convince your pets.
Yeah. Mishka's convinced. We need more pets. And I think we'll finish it by saying have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Have a safe, happy Merry Christmas. See all the people you want to see. Emphasis on the safe too. This can be a bit of hectic time of year.
The silly season.
Yeah, the silly season.
So yeah, be smart, be responsible.
Get an Uber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We'll see you then.
See you in the new year, guys. Take care.